will come out on the Spirit Breaker here onto Slayer, but just needs the one Sleight of Fist here to get enough damage onto the Queen of Pain. First blood going out to Slayer on the Ember Spirit.
I think he may have underestimated how long it would take Deserted to get there on the Spirit Breaker, because that was not a very worthy trade, and you are really risking your life anytime you blink into an Ember Spirit. And like I said, it's a very volatile lane. They both have a lot of damage they can put out early.
Yeah, able to grab his bottle just before the courier did go down, so at least Ember will have a sustain so far. But that's still a decent chunk of change here, especially for a Sven down on bottom, who's been farming pretty comfortably. He's top of the charts, 26 and 5 so far, or 10, sorry, that will be the Huskar. So Lokarn, definitely getting zoned out, still has hit his level 4, so XP is still going to these heroes on Astral.
It's certainly nothing like last game, I can tell you that much. I mean, Ooh just has quite a bit more confidence, I want to say. He was on the Wind Ranger, right? Oh, doesn't matter. Look mid, there is an Invis Winter Wyvern getting scouted out.
Sentry Ward has scouted out most of that. Splinter Blast will go on. Tries to get the Cold Embrace in time, but Ember Spirit will clean up that kill, so that's 2 for him on mid. Has hit his level 6 here. And getting the XP onto the Bounty Hunter. Slowly but surely will be getting that track, and with the increase of the gold later on, if they do manage to lock down a couple more kills, that's so much gold for all this team. Meanwhile, Huskar up top almost finished his phase boots, and ACL, what level is he? Throwing out the fissure, almost level 6, so you were right. He is getting his XP where he needs it, but at what cost?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely at what cost. I mean, what does BSJ do with the free farm, though? He's obviously, it looks like he's going towards an early armlet here with the Blades of Attack and Helm of Iron Will, but it's not like you're giving a Spectre an early Radiance. I think they expect that Huskar is going to get quite a bit of farm, and they just have to get what they can out of the situation.
Yeah, he's actually getting charged on here, and this will be a fissure plus the charge coming in, so we'll see how much damage this does. It won't be enough of a block, so has early leveled that Inner Vitality, and Huskar's going to get out scot-free as Dazzle does locate into top. Shallow Wave going out on BSJ just to keep him healed up for now, and he has picked up his level 6, so Life Break, waiting for those dunks to come out here. Meanwhile, down on bottom, Lokarn's going to play it pretty dangerously, tossing down the power treads, playing a little taunt game against the Sven.
Yeah, they've left the Sven alone now, so Lokarn can get a lot more out of this. I think that they need to rotate their supports back in and make sure this brew doesn't get a super early 6. He's already halfway there.
Dire's middle tower
Winter Wyvern will come back into the lane to help out the Sven, as he's not quite level 6 yet, so not dealing out immense amount of damage, as they do ping out the bounty for sure. Oh no, it was just Bounty pinging out himself, I think, but Deserted knows something's up. You can definitely tell, as he does have a couple mangoes on hand, so just waiting for whatever charge he can get. Looking out for that courier, almost got sniped here, as they will figure out the Queen of Pain is farming here. Godlike does ping it out, and it looks like Slayer's going to rotate in, does have the DD rune for a little bit longer, as Cop's going to want to blink away here pretty soon. And she will, so Deserted rotating in, looking for a bash.
It's a risky situation to go into, but I guess with Chemistry coming in, they may be able to finish him off here.
Shackled by Slayer, so Deserted falling pretty low, but the Cold Embrace coming out from the Winter Wyvern, but no matter. He will go down, but in return, Ember Spirit falling to the Queen of Pain, so they do manage to get a pick off here onto the Ember Spirit. That's pretty strong here for Ryguy, but he is being slowly but surely chased down as he is out of mana, and Godlike wants to go in on this, along with Lokarn, who's rotating in. Throwing out the haze, and you're just waiting for the slam here to finish off this kill.
Yeah, that's going to be an easy kill. I don't think that you can get out of here.
One right click, and that will be the Queen of Pain going down to the Brewmaster, so with that, he's almost hit his level 6.
Yeah, but Sven has also hit his level 6, closing in on level 7, still some Mango, got his treads. I don't know, what do you do? Do you rush a blink in this case? Oh.
Yeah, you could go for the blink, but right now, Oo's being gone on as he does throw out the God Strength, and Slayer's going to have to play it pretty careful here as they do have a lot of backup coming in. Spirit Breaker charging from the side, but he will clean up that kill first, and he's going to want to go for more, but here comes the Spirit Breaker. This could be a good turn as Shackle will go out onto Chemistry. Doesn't have enough for the Cold Embrace quite yet, and they need a couple clicks here. Quap does come out, and will clean up the kill onto the Ember Spirit, so they trade their carry for it, for the Ember Spirit, but meanwhile up on top, it will be the Huskar actually falling down.
To a neutral. I just want to point out, to a neutral creep. He may have denied himself there. He does have his armlet now, so he might have just picked that up and denied himself.
Yeah, that could be it. Soul Ring was spent by ACL, didn't see it there, so definitely could have brought him low, but gets the deny off, didn't see it there, but either way, that will be the Ember Spirit falling for the Sven. I don't know. Queen of Pain picking up that kill, a little bit of XP for all of them. It's pretty strong, as dust will be spent here onto Godlike, as well as Sven throwing out the stun.
They don't have enough.
know if, no, they don't have enough here to follow this through, as Frozen will rotate down, as well as the Ember Spirit, so they need to be careful as both tracks are up, as Deserted falling pretty low here.
Mango charge.
Mango being used, but Bounty Hunter's going to get the kill all by himself, as Sven throws out the hammer. He doesn't have a lot of mana left. He can throw out the Warcry if he needs to, but slowly being burned down here by the Flame Guard. Frozen wanting to help out Slayer secure this kill with the track gold. That's going to be a ton for them, and they will secure it onto the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, that was a lot to pay for trying to go in on a Bounty Hunter. They should have recognized that even if there wasn't TP support, they just didn't have the damage to take him out, and they were diving pretty deep. But the rotations coming in from Astral, just very impressive. Slayer has great map awareness. You can tell he's just TPing all over the place whenever he needs to. He's already picked up 4 kills to his name. I think he's going to have a good game.
And Lokarn has rotated mid, actually picks up the early Morbid Mass, so you could see him go into the Vlads early on. It's definitely a good kind of all-around support item for your team. It might actually be a Drums as well, has picked up the early Bracer, so just looking for the comfortable early game here onto the Brewmaster, as, you know, they can start going for these kills. Meanwhile, down on bottom, Slayer getting charged on, has a Remnant to jump back, and will be just fine. Track going out on a co-op, so they definitely know pretty much everything that's going on here as they get another one onto Chemistry. And Frozen's going to rotate top. Where's this Huskar been the whole time? Farming in the jungle. And has picked up that Armlet. Now finished his power treads. As yeah, he's just going to continue to farm. All these stacks coming from the Dazzle early on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this bounty getting a really level... Like, this is an early level 6 for a support bounty hunter. Now, granted, he did have bot lane to himself for a little while, but it's so important because these early rotations are where BB is supposed to be getting all the kills. I mean, look, they've got a Quap, they've got a Spear Breaker, everything you need for a nice little gank.
And Charge will be coming down on bottom here. Space Cow wanting to move forward, doesn't have his level 6 yet, but it will be Winter Wyvern throwing out the ultimate onto Slayer, has enough for the Remnant back, but he keeps getting stunned up. Finally will Remnant back, and that's a lot being expended for this kill onto the Ember Spirit, but they still don't get it. As God's Strength activated, Winter Wyvern's Curse coming out, and they just can't lock down this Ember Spirit now that he's reached well over his level 6.
Yeah, and that was a really poor layering of stuns from BangBang. I mean, they cast the Stormhammer and the Witch's Curse at the same time before the Spirit Breaker even got there. I think it's always hard to make communication happen in such a short period of time, but they definitely could have layered it.
So Bounty Hunter spotting out Chemistry, and you know what, he might actually get a pick of his own. Cold Embrace going out, and you know what, he's going to actually look to get back. Has the track up, throws it down again just to secure a little bit more vision. And actually Slayer's going to rotate in. Misses the Sleight of Fist, but gets the Shackle onto the Queen of Pain, as the Hammer will follow him all the way back underneath his tower. This will bring him decently low as the charge does follow up, but he's just going to TP all the way back home.
I like the Sven not really maxing out his Stormhammer. I really don't think the damage you get out of it is a big deal. If it had a cooldown reduction, then absolutely, but he just takes up a second level in it and decides to pump more into the Warcry. They do need the armor against the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, so this will be an early Drums onto the Brewmaster as he does pick up Robe of the Magi, and they're going to look to start pushing this tower. ACL has rotated in, trying to push creep back, but
Hold that thought. Ooh, does catch out Godlike in the middle of the forest. They use the dust on him, and they can't quite get him low enough. They just can't finish off these ganks.
Yeah, they could very well be lacking the little bit of vision that they need onto them. But Sonic Wave has been leveled up by the Queen of Pain. She does expend it there to get the Dazzle kill, but meanwhile BSJ has been farming up these creep camps, and he's going to look to get a little bit of extra here as he will secure a kill onto the Spirit Breaker. Meanwhile, Slayer, rotating through the jungle, does spot out the Sven farming away, but he's got other people in mind as he's going to rotate into mid on this Quap, who is tracked up right now.
Ooh, this could end very poorly. Quap not having her ultimate right now, and everyone's going to rotate in, but...
Winter's Curse going out onto 2, and the Echo Slam from ACL, who rotated in. Ember Spirit falling pretty low, but he will have the Remnant to get out. Dagger's going to hit him for a couple more hits here, but should be enough to get him home to safety. As Rosh going to be started here by BSJ, even though he's so low, wanting to deal out quick damage here with the Burning Spears. This is kind of the way to do it anyway, so gonna just Armlet toggle his way to victory to take down this Rosh by himself. That's gonna be a lot of solo XP, extra gold for everybody, and the Aegis should secure them to take down Tier 1 tower.
Yeah, that was a really poor trade for BangBang, unfortunately. They lost the Coin of Pain. They used both the Winter's Curse and the Echo Slam, and they only got a bounty out of it.
Hold up on top. Brewmaster will expend his ultimate as Chemistry gets stunned up, but had the Cold Embrace just before. As they've rotated everybody around, it's just Brewmaster by himself with the Queen of Pain rotating in. He's looking for this kill before he has to get back, and it might be too little too late as he throws out one more rock. He should be able to get a slam just before it goes down, but no! Gets stunned up before he can drop it, and that'll be an easy free kill split between 3 here onto the Brewmaster.
Really well played by the Spirit Breaker there. He was watching the timer on Bristleback's ultimate. He knew exactly when it was going down and stunned him immediately when he got out of it.
Meanwhile on mid, now that he's secured the Aegis of his own, he will finish that tier 1 tower on mid. And up on top, they're going to relocate onto Slayer, who is out of mana, can't Remnant forward anymore, he is out of Remnants. And Deserted is going to look for the charge here, up in 2 more seconds. Shackle going out on the 2, but the one last right click here from Queen of Pain will secure the kill. A little bit of extra gold for her, and with that, they've actually been jumping on this Ember Spirit quite a bit. The push coming out from the Huskar yet again, but let's take a look at the graphs real quick here. XP, about a 6k lead here for Astral, and net worth over 7,500 here, so they are doing quite well, but with a couple of pickoffs here, Queen of Pain actually getting a decent amount of farm going for that Orchid. Meanwhile on mid, they will jump forward. Deserted jumping on top of the Dazzle. And Queen of Pain already picking up a double kill as BSJ going wild, throwing out the Burning Spears. Will get a kill onto the Winter Wyvern first as she does jump forward on top of the Sven before he does burn the Aegis. So quick team fight here turning drastically as stun will go out onto Lokarn, and they're going to look to go on the Quap even harder. She does blink away, and that's going to be actually a triple kill onto the Queen of Pain.
Oof, really well done. Unfortunately, the Sven didn't live to see that through and get the benefit of all the golden experience he needs. I mean, he's only sitting on treads and a morbid mask, so he needs to get more out of this, but it definitely helps to get more money on the Queen of Pain. She's so close to her Orchid at 15.5 minutes. Which means, what, 100 more? 130.
130 more-ish. No, more than that.
675, isn't it? 775? I could be wrong.
That was 675. We'll call it that.
Anyway,
meanwhile, BSJ is going to pick up a Sanj here. What do you think he's going to turn this into? I don't think he really needs it for a Silver Edge, so...
he doesn't need the Heaven's Halberd because...
it could be the Halberd for this Sven. It really could be. And it takes him up quite a bit.
Yeah, and I guess then it forces the Sven to go for an early BKB. But I mean, once he does get that BKB, it will be a moot item, I think.
And they're going to look to take this tier 1 tower down on bottom, but we do have a rotation of 3 as they are all smoked up here. Deserted jumping forward onto Slayer, does get the ultimate too, plus the slam from the Fissure, but Dazzle does manage to get off the Shallow Grave just before he goes down. I think he's dead either way as they expend the Winter's Curse for the Ember Spirit kill alone. I think they probably could have got him without it, but you know, they need to secure these kills. Ember last game was kind of a force to be reckoned with, and they're not having him jump through any of these kills this time, as BSJ will jump forward, diving deep underneath the tower on top of Ooh. And with the armlet activated, he is sitting pretty tanky. Not a lot of mana on here for this Earthshaker. Can't throw out yet another Fissure, as Queen of Pain does blink forward, but she's going to lose her life over it. Brewmaster picking up the kill as Deserted gets jumped on by BSJ. That'll be yet another kill here. Dazzle picking up the credit for that one as they throw up ACL into the air. Stone going out, and that's going to be more than enough as Brewmaster picking up a double kill here as 3 go down for the Ember Spirit overall, and they do get a tier 1 tower for it.
Raiga blinking into the middle of the fight there. Very poor decision. It never ends well when you're suddenly a Quap alone in the middle of 4 enemies with no way to escape. It was a tough situation no matter what, but I was really surprised that Ember in all of that didn't have a Remnant further back. I mean, he was diving fully under the tier 1 tower, and he only had one Remnant that was kind of behind, I don't know, 300 units behind him.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that the polishing of the Ember Spirit is definitely way more improved on BSJ than it is onto who is playing this Slayer, sorry, this time. But either way, he's definitely playing a good Ember, just getting jumped on a little bit more. And Godlike gonna be dived pretty deep here by the Sven. Sonic Wave coming in the back here, and it will be the Huskar picking up the Sven kill, and you know, Queen of Pain might actually burn out from the Burning Spears here as Ember does jump forward here, slaying, looking for the Sleight of Fist plus the Shackle. Doesn't get it, but he's going to keep chasing forward as they want these kills. 3 already down, and Chant Totem will go out, stuns him for a moment, but he's going to go down whether he likes it or not, as the Echo Slam does come out, but it's only delaying the inevitable. Triple kill here for the Huskar, and this is where you see it. BSJ taking team fight after team fight, solo kills. Now he's going to take out towers, and there's not a lot they can do here.
No, and he has picked up that Heaven's Halberd, so even if Sven does get off his ultimate, it's just not enough. Was there? No, there's no GG called here. He's just diving.
He's just diving. He just wants more blood here. As splits the kill. Not sure what that was all about.
Yeah, me either.
Feeling pretty comfortable on his Huskar right now. Finally goes down here. 7-2 and 4. You're not that far ahead, but pretty close to taking the racks. I feel like they could have just focused on that and got the hell out, but either way, he will fall down as Deserted jumping forward, Stormhammer going all the way out onto the Ember Spirit, and Winter's Curse straight onto Godlike. They want this kill on the Bounty, who's been increasing their gold so much here on the graph, and they do throw down the Sentry Ward. They need another stun on him. It's taking a little too long for them to finally get this kill, but they've expended 3 sentries now to finally secure this kill.
That is a high priority bounty hunter right there. That's 300 gold that you're expending just on killing him.
Yeah, okay, well, interesting enough. He does have the Guardian Greaves, so this bounty has been getting quite a bit here with these track kills. And as you take a look at the gold graph, I mean, it's been dipping here pretty far. They get a little bit back with that Huskar kill and the bounty kill, but just under a 15k gold lead.
Classic Jimmy. Yeah, I'm still not too sure what that Huskar dabbing the fountain was about, but I suspect it could have been to make space for his team to try and take the rocks, even if they were unsuccessful.
And back from the Ember Spirit here on to mid, as Desert is just going to keep charging forward here, just to kind of check things out, see how far back he is going. And meanwhile in the jungle, it will be the Sven farming up. Just so poor, the Sven. Only has a Helm of the Dominator, the Power Treads, and now picked up his 1 Mithril Hammer. Needs that BKB to do any sort of damage, because he's just getting blown up here every team fight.
Just the saddest of days. What can you do? This Dazzle has really been the MVP, though. I feel like there's been a lot of really clutch shallow graves, and despite his very low net worth, has been making a great impact for his team.
Yeah, Frozen doing quite a bit of work here, keeping the vision up, and saving his team time and time again here with these shallow graves. And I actually haven't even seen a weave come out yet, so I don't even think I've seen the full tankability of this team on Astral.
Maybe he just doesn't like the ability. Like, there's some heroes that I find myself to be quite proficient on that I just don't really use one of their abilities much. Examples: Tusk, his little ward thing. I don't even know what it's called. Frozen Sigil. I don't use it enough, and I really should. Witch Doctor, Maledict. I hardly ever use that skill.
But these are definitely skills that are super important. We've definitely one of them. That's
I know.
That's quite a bit of armor, whether it's reduction or amplified. Yeah, it's going to be pretty strong in this team at Astral, and if they even throw it on BangBang, I mean, that's some squishy support on the Earthshaker and the Winter Wyvern that they can clean up pretty quick here.
And there are a lot of physical damage.
Winter Wyvern picking up a Glimmer Cape, so a little bit of survivability coming from chemistry, as Ember Spirit finishing up his Battle Fury, throwing down a Remnant. Rosh could be spawning if they're lucky here within a couple seconds. And it looks like Astral just securing their farm, getting the last little bit of items they need in order to go high ground. As we see Rosh is actually going to spawn here in another minute.
It is, and I think that's going to be a very easy Rosh. They've got bottom pushed in so much, and if they take an Aegis, they're going to easily be able to take... Like, the tier 3 is already out of the way is what I'm trying to say. So it's a very clear path once they take this Aegis to just push high ground, and they can rotate mid fairly easily. They need to take out these tier 2s, though. I don't know why those things are still standing.
I think they just want to continue to use this kind of almost a death ball strat with this Huskar. Now has picked up the ultimate orb, has the Heaven's Halberd online too. Dazzle has now picked up a gem, so they're just scouting to take out whatever vision is left. They're going to get one more ward here from Godlike, and now BangBang pretty much in the dark here. They don't see anything coming. They know Bounty's nearby as the track does go out and Slayer does come in and jump forward from Lokarn as he does throw out the Brewlings. And that's going to be a quick kill for the Brewmaster onto the Spirit Breaker as he buys back into the game. Winter's Curse going out on the Huskar, but no damage done on top of him. As the Sven will finally burn out, will be the Brewmaster getting that kill. And you know what? They're just going to call GG. BangBang here just figured out that they don't have enough to control this game, as they're going to call it here pretty quick against Astral. Just not enough to control them. Second game, easy cleanup from this Deathball strat of the Huskar. They didn't even really need this Ember Spirit this time, as BSJ just all over them in the team fights, and Bounty really propelling them forward, getting all the gold in the world onto the Huskar, and they're going to call it. So that's a 2-0 sweep here for Astral Authority over BangBang in joinDOTA League Season number 8 here.
It was so sad. He said GG fail, and I crumbled a little bit on the inside. It's so sad to see somebody disheartened like that, but it was really, I guess, for BB a disheartening game. That all across the scoreboard, they had a lot of difficulty. This Huskar was just out of control. I'm also told by our Twitch chat that it's one of his best heroes. So obviously he has a lot of experience with that. You could see the finesse he has with the hero, and he really did just take over the game.
So thanks for everybody coming up for the Twitch stream tonight. Go ahead and give us a follow on Twitch or follow us at on Twitter at NMMDota. I'm at SubZeroDota on Twitter, and with my co-caster at VVDota with 2 eyes at the end. You can find us there and see us when we're casting again. Thanks for everybody coming out again tonight. Thanks to my co-caster Vivi.
Wait. Before you finish up, can you say Winter Wyvern one more time for me?
Winter Wyvern.
What the hell is that?
Winter Wyvern.
Wyvern? Where's the first R in there?
Go play Warcraft and you'll see all the heroes saying it that way. Go play original Warcraft, I promise you.
Original or Warcraft 3?
Like Warcraft 2 or 3, whatever one it was. Trust me. Trust
look
me.
into this.
Okay, fine.
All right, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks for everybody coming out to the Twitch stream tonight, and look for us in the future. As we always say here at NMM, good fight, good night.